Hey guys, so energy this weekend, honestly, it could get a bit heated out there. We're going to try to want to pump the brakes a little bit, not engage in any unnecessary drama, unnecessary disputes. We don't want to start fights this weekend because the atmosphere is sort of primed for that type of thing. We are looking at an exact square between the sun and Mars and mutable signs, conflict leading to change, transition, breakthrough, ultimately leading us in a positive direction. But things could be a bit all over the place. Tempers could definitely be flaring. There could be a lot of hostility, a lot of like ego issues going on, a lot of people sort of vying for power or control over the narrative or over the perception and understanding of other people. We've got black moon energy playing out all weekend, so people are likely generally going to be triggered in a lot of ways as well. We've got to talk about that. And we have shifting vibes coming through as well. Mercury and Venus are both changing signs this weekend. Mercury is actually going to be setting up a mutual reception with Mars in Gemini and Aries. That's going to be playing out over the next 5 or 6 days. We are approaching a period, you guys, where it is really going to be time to take some action coming up after this weekend. We're in like the final push right now. Things could really feel like they're falling apart. People may really feel like they're sort of losing their mind or losing their grip on reality this weekend. But I'm telling you guys, don't give up, stay strong, don't lose faith. A lot of what we're seeing play out right now is not as it things are not truly as they appear, okay? And there's a lot going on. So let's get into all three of these charts for this weekend. Let's look at Friday, Saturday, Sunday in a little bit more detail from an energetic vibrational level and see how things may be coming together for us this weekend to color our experience on the ground as we head towards the new moon in Aries that is coming up next week. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, March 17th, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the weekend where we are narrating the shift of the ages. We are looking at the astrology, the energy that we have coming in for Friday the 17th, Saturday the 18th, Sunday the 19th, as we are, like I said, in this final push towards the culmination of actually several different cycles that are coming up next week. We are going to be ending our Pisces lunar cycle. We're going to be ending our 2022 astrological lunar cycle, our 2022 astrological new year, astrological year. Our astrological natural new year always begins with the new moon in Aries each year when the sun and the moon come into the exact alignment in the first sign of the zodiac. And that's what we're heading towards next week as well. We are also going to have Pluto ending a 20-year Capricorn transit a couple days after that. Mars is also going to be ending his transit of the sign of Gemini, moving into Cancer just a couple days after that. This weekend, we have Venus and Mercury also changing signs, so there's a shift going on there. And what's interesting actually about Venus moving into the sign of Taurus right now is that Venus is coming into a conjunction with the North Node, which is currently at 5 degrees of Taurus. This is going to be happening right in alignment with the new moon as well. Venus, the North Node, this is going to be the beginning of some new cycles in terms of love and money, value and worth, self-worth, our relationship to ourselves, our relationship to others, partnership dynamics. So we're in the very end time of Venus's like current North Node cycle that we're in as well. And the North Node, this is the destiny point. This is like the next phase of growth. So we've got that cycle that's going to be coming to an end next week as well. We also just had Saturn end a 2-year transit of the sign of Pisces moving into Aquarius. So we're just in times of change, times of transition, and from now through the 20th, essentially the 21st is the new moon this year in alignment with the equinox. We have the equinox when the sun hits the first degree of air, moves to 0 degrees of Aries actually. That's the degree where the new moon is this year, which doesn't happen often. So all new beginnings all the way around coming at us. And not only that, like I said, Mercury entering the sign of Aries this weekend is setting up like this 5 to 6 day window of Mars, Mercury, Aries, Gemini mutual reception, which is the new moon in Aries, you know, coming up in the sign of Aries. This is also indicating like this pending time of like really taking some action, making some choices, making some decision that is going to like that is in alignment with these like brand new fresh starts, like really doing something very new in alignment with the mental changes that have gone on over Mars's transit through the sign of Gemini over this past year. So all that being said, what I'm really trying to say is this weekend, you know, despite how tense things may be, or how difficult the projection of reality may appear to us at this moment. Things are not necessarily as they seem. We are walking through some distortions and some illusions this weekend, and the fog will clear literally over this next couple of days, and we will be looking at things from an entirely new perspective and very motivated and ready to move forward, trying something like genuinely new, okay? All of that being said, let's talk about the energy specifically as we have playing out on Friday. Friday, we've got a lot going on. Friday is our big day of the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, honestly, not too much going on. I'm not going to spend as much time talking about those days, but Friday, we've got a lot happening. Number one, this is the exact square between the Sun and Mars. On the 16th, yesterday, we had the exact square between that triple conjunction of planets, Mercury, the Sun, and Neptune in the square to Mars. And today, Mars has moved to the next degree. The Sun has also transited forward a degree. And so while Mars has moved out of exact square to Neptune, finally, and out of exact square to Mercury, who's moved 2 degrees ahead because Mercury moves faster than the Sun, Mars and the Sun are sustaining their exact square for the second day. So we are in exact Sun-Mars square energy today, but it's also more pure sort of because it's not as diluted by the Neptune energy and the Mercury energy, which were there really influencing that conjunction, that triplicity conjunction slash mutable square with Mars and Gemini that we had yesterday. So, it is a lot of the same flavors because these planets are still so close. Like Mercury is 1 degree ahead, Neptune is 1 degree behind, the Sun is wedged in between the two, forming the exact square to Mars. But it is more of this pure Sun-Mars energy that we have going on. So we're going to talk about that. What is really sort of like bringing up the intensity level, though, as if we needed any of that, is the position of the moon on Friday. The moon has been transiting the sign of Capricorn the past couple days, coming to the end of Capricorn, entering the sign of Aquarius on Friday. Now, this is doing a couple of things for us. Number one, we'll form a conjunction to Pluto at the 29th degree of the sign of Capricorn. The 29th degree of any sign, this is like a more heavy-hitting critical energy point in this degree or in that particular sign. And with the moon coming there, that's our emotions. The moon is an energetic trigger. This is really going to set off this Pluto at 29 degrees about to transit into the sign of Aquarius energy. So this is a potential for some very intense, powerful emotions and drives and urges and compulsions that could be coming up within us in the context of this greater likelihood for irrationality and conflict, looking for a fight sort of. People could be just really kind of honestly not caring, kind of ruthless and just illogical, irrational, being driven by some very subconscious emotional triggers in this energy. Now, aside from the conjunction between the moon and Pluto at the last degree, the very last degree of the sign of Capricorn, the moon will then move into the sign of Aquarius. And what is happening right now, you guys, whenever the moon is transiting the sign of Aquarius or the sign of Leo, its oppositional sign? Well, we have the black moon right now transiting the sign of Leo. Whenever the moon is transiting the sign where the black moon is, or the sign opposing the black moon, because the black moon works in polarities, it's triggering this black moon energy. It's activating the black moon energy. The moon rules our emotions. And again, it's like this trigger for any type of planetary energy that we have going on. And so we're talking about the black moon. This is us really feeling these shadow side issues, worries, fears, insecurities, doubts, lack, subconscious programming and stuff really dominating sort of our experience. It's for the purpose of helping us to gain an awareness of some of these more negative shadow aspects of our psyche and of our nature that hold this tremendous power actually over our experience, so that we can kind of crack the code of our own algorithm, of our own subconscious. A process that has a lot to do also with the Chiron archetype and the Chiron energy, which is also very prominent right now. Chiron and Jupiter having been in a conjunction the past couple weeks and still in a conjunction now, even though it's separating. It's really, we're in a period of time right now in this final push, in this more like end time energy, as we are moving to this this like entrance into all of these new beginnings that is coming, where we are being able to kind of release ourselves from a lot of the past limitations based again in that subconscious programming, or these states of victimhood, or these like childhood traumas and stuff that we're gaining this awareness of now, and being able to heal and understand and overcome, evolve out of, and kind of like graduate, separate ourselves, break through that karmic loop, that karmic cycle of experience as we're transitioning ages, right, into the age of Aquarius. So we've got Black Moon energy that's triggering this weekend as well, and specifically Friday and Saturday. We've also on Friday got Venus entering the sign of Taurus, right? This is going to create a vibe shift. I'll talk about that. And we also have, of course, like I just said, Jupiter and Chiron still in this conjunction, and this triple conjunction going on Neptune, Sun, Mercury in the sign of Pisces. So, healing, overcoming, transcending, influenced by the Chiron Jupiter energy in a very kind of self-motivated way in the sign of Aries, and distorted perceptions of things still very prominent with Mercury, Neptune, and the Sun together. We don't want to be taking reckless actions based on an emotional impulse of something that we see or that we hear in this energy, because there's a very good chance that it's not going to end up being what we thought it was. This energy is very, it's very similar to Mercury retrograde energy with the Neptune square, Mercury, Gemini, Mars influence. So we need to keep that in mind as well. Let's focus in specifically now on what we have going on Friday. First, I do want to say about Friday, aside from these three aspects, there is lots of symbolism coming through via the Sabian symbols, focusing on the moon. We've got three symbols directly referencing the moon. We have the sun on Friday, 27 Pisces, a harvest moon illuminates a clear autumnal sky. We have Mercury at 28 degrees of Pisces. A fertile garden under the full moon reveals a variety of full-grown vegetables. And then we've got Neptune at 26 Pisces. A new moon reveals that it's time for people to go ahead with their different projects. So we've got like the moon revealing or illuminating things in all of these three symbols. And then we've also got Venus moving to that first degree of Taurus, which is a clear mountain stream, which is, the word clear is also sort of being replicated throughout these symbols. So I feel like, for one, this is putting an emphasis on feelings, all of these moon related themes, right? Feelings, emotions, our intuition, but in a way that's being like illuminated or super powered, super activated, overcoming fears through the sense of illumination, solving mysteries, seeing behind the curtain, secrets revealed, learning the truth about things. But also the other side of this moon energy, things shrouded, hidden, deep, complex, mysterious, but ultimately shining a light into the darkness as we are in this period of time right now, which is really cracking through some previous paradigms and destroying a lot of illusions that have been keeping us frozen, essentially, or keeping us in a place from recognizing like the truth of our power, honestly, and our creative potential, which is something that the rest of 2023, after this year, as we move through this new moon in Aries, is really going to be demonstrating to us, I feel like, in some pretty big and significant ways. So we're probably going to be feeling, there is just this very like strong emotional sensitivity that is coming through in the energy on Friday and this weekend as well. I do feel like the most prominent energy that we will be feeling is this Sun square Neptune, but then with the moon conjuncting Pluto, triggering the Black Moon energy, this is definitely this enhanced layer of emotional intensity, people being very triggered as well, again, like coming from this unconscious or this subconscious place of reaction in order, that's universe trying to show us where we are essentially like not in control of our own experience through us having these unconscious reactions and then having to face whatever comes from them. That's sort of how the Black Moon lesson energy works. But, power struggles, so the Sun in square to Mars with Pluto highlighted by the moon. Oh yeah, power struggles, clashes of wills, ego issues, ego battles, very likely. And it's gonna have probably something to do also with beliefs and like our belief systems or our stance on things versus like another person's ideas or information or thoughts. People are also not going to be reacting well, most likely, to any type of like criticism or judgment of their ideas, of their thoughts, of their beliefs. This is not a good weekend to have like philosophical debates with people, okay? Like I would generally just try to avoid that type of thing because it's not going to be productive. It's just going to create tensions. It's just going to create like hard feelings, okay? And it's not going to have like a productive outcome of everybody walking away having learned something. No, no, no. That's not the way this is going to go. People are probably aggressively willing to defend their stance on things. This could be very passive aggressive as well with the Neptune Pisces influence. It could be extreme avoidance, neglect, and abandonment. This is another thing we could see in this energy. I meant to mention this in my video for yesterday, but I don't know, I guess I forgot. Lying, cheating, stealing, manipulation, coercion, trying to get away with things. Mars and Gemini squaring all these Pisces planets with Neptune there and Mercury there, the trickster energy as well. This could definitely be people trying to like get one over or trying to get away with things or engaging in some really shady behavior or, you know, just straight up lying about stuff, trying to create a false narrative or like an illusion or something to get away with some type of underhanded behavior, but it's also not going to work. That is also how the illusion is sort of being shattered right now by the extreme amount of projection of this illusion to the point where, you know, we're seeing the cracks in the facades, okay? Like Saturn is in the sign of Pisces as well. This is accountability. This is, you know, honesty, integrity, morality, like where the Pisces energy is being manipulated and utilized for nefarious purposes, like the chickens are coming home to roost, you guys, that is not gonna probably go without karmic repercussions that happen pretty instantaneously, okay, in this energy. But also communication breakdown, something I've been talking about the past couple days, technological failures, very likely with this, again, sort of matching up to the Mercury retrograde vibe. Also, broken, damaged, lost, stolen, like communication devices or just technology generally, the way that these planetary alignments are playing out. People at odds with each other, head to head about stuff, hostility, violence, rage, depression, disillusionment, escapism. You know, not my favorite thing to talk about, but this is just what can be provoked in this energy. At the root of it, you guys, I've been saying I do feel like is this internalized vulnerability that people are feeling more than usual and having a variety of reactions to. I feel like a lot of those reactions are going to be projections of anger, just the way that this is coming out. But I do feel like, you know, if we dug down to the root of it this weekend, this week, the way this is coming, I do feel like a vulnerability that is like not embraced or accepted is what is driving a lot of what is going on right now. And also, you know, this energy is also trying to help us overcome our fears through our faith on one hand, being able to surrender the burden and things that we can't control, with the faith that as long as we are doing the right thing and putting in the work and, you know, recognizing our value and potential and working towards our goals and trying to change for the better, you know, doing the right things, adhering to the principles that our higher self would expect from us, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to be rewarded ultimately. Things are going to work out. It's just when we're trying to hide from what we know is in our best interest, trying to escape from reality, trying to escape from the problems that we've caused through any type of avoidance or just, again, that maligned behavior that I was talking about. Like, we have to sort of like pay the piper on this one, you know what I mean? But then we can make the conscious choice to do better. And again, that is going to be rewarded, but just, you know, could be a lot. People are dealing with a lot. You know, I feel like patience, giving people sort of a break, and again, kind of staying out of it, because most of it's not real anyways. That's what's going to be, we're going to have the best experience going through this energy if we can do that. And also if we can just not be too hard on ourselves and not internalize whatever feelings of negativity or self-doubt or just like weakness perhaps are rising within us, fears, insecurities, doubts, as long as we're not attaching to those and we are using them as like an observation tool in terms of what we need to work on within ourselves. We're gonna be just fine, okay? But be careful driving. Again, people zoned out, people not paying attention. Gemini, Mercury, this is traffic. There could be road rage going on. There could be just like people driving, you know, fast, irritated, frustrated, trying to get to where they're going and just kind of zoned out, not paying attention. People are likely to be extra sensitive and extra touchy, looking for a fight, wanting to like release this pressure valve, okay? Like let some steam out. Again, just, this is not the weekend to get involved. A lot of what is coming to the surface in terms of this anger and aggression is, again, being triggered by these powerful internalized, like very deep feelings and emotional urges regarding Black Moon in Leo. We need to talk about this now. A need to be seen and heard. And you know, this is Mars in Gemini. Like, this is a need, this is like passionately expressing our ideas and our thoughts and our opinions and stuff like that. And coming up against the Sun in Pisces, which is all about the beliefs in alignment with like the ego and the life force. So we've got that issue. And then also the Black Moon in the sign of Leo. This can bring up issues with attention and feeling recognized and having power, like things to do with like a hierarchy and influence and stuff like that as well. So we also have that playing into a lot of what is sort of like percolating under the surface of things, trying to find its way out. I mean, you know, Sun square Mars, this could be quite eruptive, quite explosive, quite outbursts. Outbursts are probably a big thing as well. Moon and Pluto, though, you know, powerful transformative emotions, emotional reactions, emotional release. A lot of the blow-ups this weekend, you guys, it's going to be for the last time. Like, this is going to be the end. After this, like, this release, okay, of this building emotional tension that is likely to come out, we're going to be ready to move on. Things are going to change. Things are going to shift. And we're not going to be perpetuating some of the same cycles and patterns that maybe led to that building tension in the first place that is alleviated in this energy this weekend as well. So there is definitely a regenerative and a transformative dynamic to how this is going. But again, it could just be not the most pleasant energy, okay? The Black Moon in the sign of Leo. Leo, of course, being ruled by the Sun, and the Sun is doing what? In the square with Mars. So fighting for power, dominance, attention, love, influence, recognition, fights and clashes. Also, we could see, like, there could be like some type of highlight or focus on like public figures or like celebrities or something somehow. Fights and clashes going on between them, or like publicly vying for control of some kind of narrative, trying to get like people on their side, or trying to like be very like influential in their claims in one way or another. I don't know. Public exposure and the dark side of fame and wealth as well, with the Black Moon and Leo being activated, come through, like scandals and stuff like that could be like in the news or could like surface throughout the course of the energy this weekend. Fighting to be seen and heard. I think I already said that. Inner child issues as well with the Black Moon and Leo, bringing up, again, triggering these issues within us, perhaps having to do with being unloved or unrecognized or unappreciated, or just feeling like generally unhappy in our experience right now and wanting to do something to change that. And it's interesting because as we flow from Friday into the energy of Saturday, there's a square to Uranus that will go on from the moon, and this really may be giving us a very strong internalized sensation to like make some big changes, to really like change our lives in some big ways. But again, I feel like it's coming on one hand also from these feelings of like not being truly happy in our lives for one reason or another that we don't really want to tolerate anymore either, and are willing to make changes to alleviate. So we've got all this going on, you know, powerful and big displays of emotions. Like I've said several times, there's just multiple aspects that are indicating this. Emotional performances perhaps as well, personal attacks, irrationality, people just generally losing it. And it's this Friday, like it's just one of those days. We are in, you know, like I've been saying, sort of like this final push to get to this new era, right? This like new world, but we're like in the part of, I guess, like the birthing process where we've just kind of maybe like, we feel like we're like giving up hope and maybe we can't do it and maybe we've been wrong this whole time. But the truth is that's the lie, that's the illusion, and that is what we will come to find out we couldn't have been more wrong about, and that we've always been like super capable of making our dreams come true and living a life that's more in authentic alignment with us this entire time. We just didn't see it. We just didn't realize it because we were living in this paradigm where for whatever reason we didn't believe that was possible for us. Our belief systems are radically shifting with this as well, whether or not we're realizing it on the surface. So overall, Friday, definitely a more intense day that may have us questioning a lot about ourselves, about reality, about the future, about the past. Conflicts, breakthrough, transition, and rebirth, though. I feel like that's sort of the progression that things are headed towards right now. Last thing to talk about in the energy for Friday, on the plus side, we do have Venus entering the sign of Taurus. This is good news for love and money, relationships, partnerships. Venus in Taurus, there's going to be less conflicts and less fighting actually going on moving over this next couple of weeks. And like I said in the beginning, she is not only moving into her sign of Taurus, but she is going to be quickly approaching a conjunction to the North Node, the destiny point, our future path of growth essentially in the sign of Taurus right now as well. And this is going to be corresponding with our equinox and our new moon in Aries. So new relationships, new partnerships, resources, financial situations are going to begin to manifest, and are not only going to begin to manifest, are going to begin to like stabilize and root themselves in our lives over this next couple of weeks. Between now and the new moon in Aries, though, you guys, when Venus will hit the North Node and begin this new Venus North Node conjunction, this new cycle of growth in alignment with value and worth and potential and love and money, we are still in the energy of closing out old relationship cycles, partnerships, financial patterns, cycles as part of the breakdown and transition energy that is so strong and that we are moving through right now. So yet another cycle, Venus North Node cycle, we are wrapping up over this next couple of days, moving towards these brand new beginnings you're going to be meeting new people, you're going to be getting new opportunities, and you may start some like new creative projects as well with Venus North Node coming together, starting this new cycle. Now let's talk just a second about Venus in the sign of Taurus. Venus in Taurus likes good food, comfort, nice things, financial abundance, very grounded, creative, sensual energy. And over this next few weeks, like I just said, we are going to be meeting new people and getting new opportunities, financial opportunities particularly, and maybe becoming more focused on like working on something, starting a new project, creating something new. But also I feel like we're going to have sort of like this compulsion to kind of like beautify ourselves, beautify our environment, our living environment, our home, focus on maybe like gardening and stuff like that as well. Putting more focus on food, resources, finances, beauty, the aesthetics sort of our living space, material comforts, material abundance as well. Now, another thing to note, now that we have Venus in the sign of Taurus, who else is in the sign of Taurus right now? It's Uranus. Okay. Uranus is the great rectifier. Uranus brings like sudden unexpected change that is ultimately always for the best. I feel like we're in a period now moving through actually like our new moon in Taurus cycle. The Taurus season in the month of May, where we are headed for some like big surprises and changes and realignments in terms of financial situations, financial things, financial markets, economies, resources, our own finances, value of like assets and money and stuff like that. I feel like we're definitely in those days as well now and moving towards, like I said, Taurus season. So we're likely to see some changes coming with that. And also, Uranus puts things right. Like there are going to be unexpected changes in the realms of love, money, partnership, resources, like level of abundance, food that come over this next couple of weeks, over this next couple of months. And I do feel like they're, for the most part, going to be they are 100% going to be positive and for the best. They may be, it may upset comfort zones or comfort levels as we go through it, but it will end up being, the value that we will gain in the end from whatever we're going through right now will be substantial and will be significant, and we won't go through this experience looking back wanting to change anything. We'll be like happy that whatever is coming happened, even if it might just make us a little uncomfortable. as we're going through it. So that's what I have to say for the energy for Friday, you guys. Big energy day. Again, like, don't get attached to the more negative vibes that may be floating around out there, because that's not the truth, okay? Just keep that in mind. Moving into Saturday, we've got a lot less to say about the energy on Saturday. We still have an Aquarius moon going on. The vibes of Friday are still very, very much carrying over. We still have the big aspects, the same aspects holding over on Saturday. Although the orbs are a bit bigger, nothing is exact, the activations have passed, but this energy is still present. The main differentiation in the energy of the chart on Saturday, though, is the moon in Aquarius forming the square to Uranus in the sign of Taurus. We just got done talking about Taurus. Venus is now in the sign of Taurus as well. So here we go with relationship and financial unexpected things might be happening, disruptions. But more so than that, I feel like how this energy is going to be coming through on Saturday is kind of just this like internalized desire for freedom and change that could be very strong. Disruptions to plans, parties, events, occasions. It's like after this kind of almost like cathartic energy that we may have experienced coming through on Friday, all of this intensity, all of this conflict, all of this things coming to a head, all of this like stuff kind of pushing us to our breaking point maybe. There's just maybe a desire to like throw off the chains and totally make like a massive reversal, change our entire life in some way, sort of coming through in the energy on Saturday. We're still in the black moon energy. So these fears, insecurities, worries, doubts about, you know, being seen or being heard or being loved or being recognized, or like having power over any dimension or area of our lives could be kind of an issue for us that is making us feel some type of way, but much less intense. I do think the moon is no longer in a conjunction to Pluto. The sun and Mars are no longer in exact square. This is going to bring the intensity down definitely to an extent on Saturday, which is why I kind of feel like with this Uranus energy coming through, it's like, it's not so intense. Like, it's not so like, just extreme necessarily what we're going through, but we're just like over it probably in the energy on Saturday. People wanting to break out and break away, do something new, out of the ordinary, different, like shake up the just like monotonous, mundane stuff sort of. Sense of internal unrest could be very strong in the energy on Saturday. Can't sleep, can't relax, but also like kind of just like tired and out of it with the Sun, Mercury, Neptune influence going on as well. Nervous tension and anxiety could be running quite high. It's like, I feel like we're feeling the changes that are coming with this new moon in a very almost like palpable, energetic way on Saturday, but they haven't happened yet. So it's just maybe the sense of like pending change stirring up this anxiety that just may have us feeling a bit unsettled, lacking the internal peace or comfort. Okay, but it's also could be bringing some sudden awakenings, flashes of insight, epiphanies, and solutions about how to solve some problems regarding maybe our financial situation, or in terms of partnerships or work relationships, or even romantic relationships as well, or how to heal some of these inner child issues could be coming through as well. But a desire for change generally could be strong in the energy on Saturday. Moving into Sunday, we've got two main things happening. Number one, this is a Moon-Saturn conjunction day. Again, more of this like heavier energy, heavier vibes. Saturn and the Moon requires a level of emotional maturity about things, taking things seriously, feeling like we need maybe to take some accountability for something, just maybe kind of feel like overwhelmed or burdened by life coming through. But then we also have Mercury entering the sign of Aries on Sunday. This is creating a definite vibe shift. The mentalized energy coming out of the Pisces energy, going into the Aries energy. We're going to be feeling a lot more alive in a lot of ways, but it is going to be a bit muted because of the Moon-Saturn influence. But, you know, so it will actually probably take us until maybe like Monday to really start feeling the Mercury-Aries energy. But this is doing something interesting for us with Mercury moving into the sign of Aries. Now, this is only creating a short window period of time because, like I said, on the 25th, I believe it is, let's see, on the 25th of March, Mars will enter the sign of Cancer. Mars will leave Gemini and enter the sign of Cancer. But from the 19th until the 25th, we're going to have Mercury in the sign of Aries, Mars in the sign of Gemini. Mars rules Aries, Mercury rules Gemini, setting up a mutual reception between Mercury and Mars. This, you guys, especially once we get through the 21st and the equinox and the new moon, this is the green light. This is the gun that shoots off that tells you when it's time to go. Like, this is, this is when we need to do some things, start moving, take some action, make something happen. Our mind is waking up, coming back online. We're likely to be getting, now that with Mercury in the sign of Aries, some fresh viewpoints, ideas, perspectives. We're going to feel like we're coming out of a haze or a daze or an illusion. If you guys have been following my videos all week, I've been talking about how once we get through this new moon in Aries, it's going to be like, we're going to be looking back on this like last couple of days of the Pisces cycle this week and be like, wow, what was I thinking? Like, I was so far off, like I was seeing things like so backwards or something like that. Even though as we're going through this energy, we may not be perceiving it that way, but that's what we're going through. And that's why we need to remember, like, despite how it may appear on the surface right now, we're in the midst of these experiences. Once we get through this, energy shifts and we're looking back, we are going to realize that this is not as real or as significant as maybe like we thought it was. We're seeing things through a bit of a distorted perception right now that is going to clear up with this Mercury Aries influence, Mercury Mars and mutual reception, new moon in Aries, and the equinox energy. And also Pluto is going to be entering the sign of Aquarius before this energy passes as well, while this window is open. So very interesting period of time we're moving in over this upcoming week, okay? Confidence, assertiveness in our communications and in our actions, mentally geared towards taking action, pioneering out, starting something new. Like I said, on Sunday, this energy could be a bit diminished, repressed, limited, held back because of the moon Saturn influence has a tendency of doing that, kind of, holding down our enthusiasm levels a little bit, more depressing, heavy energy, not being able to escape from our problems. This is also, something that we may still be struggling with and battling with. We are in these like last couple of days, right, before this energy shifts, the sense of discouragement, heavy feelings, heavy emotions, like I said, taking things more seriously, feeling a stronger level of this need to be emotionally mature about stuff, things weighing us down, overwhelmed, kind of maybe also feeling like the walls are kind of like closing in around us. Or if we want to take the moon Saturn Pisces energy to the higher octave, a strong focus on our spiritual connection, duty, responsibility, commitment to our higher selves, our higher power, putting in the work to fix our issues, to take accountability, to be more mature, to have more integrity, surrendering the burden of what we can't control, not trying to control what we know is out of our power, but trusting in a higher power and having the faith that if we just do the right thing and if we work on ourselves, things are going to unfold before us in a way that is supportive of what we truly want to create going forward. So we can go through, we can use that energy that way as well. We don't have to, be caught in the more like downtrodden side of things. There is the other octave that is very available to us as well. But after Sunday, beginning the next week, beginning Monday, we should definitely start feeling this Mercury Aries energy. Also, like I said, this Mercury Mars mutual reception. I just like this right now. For some reason, this 5 to 6 day period, it's time to make the choices. It's time to move ahead. Motivation, courage, strength. Again, I specifically, if you can, I would wait until the days between the 21st and the 25th. That is like kind of a magical period of time for asserting ourselves in a way that is likely to really lead to some type of successful outcome for us in new beginnings and big changes. Good energy, good vibe. We're also this exact period of time, Venus will be in the conjunction to the North Node, and we'll be getting this new cycle of money and love, value, relationship, work type of stuff as well. So next week should be a very stimulating, interesting week. And I think, again, we should have a positive perspective right now, even if things don't seem to be going that great, because things are gonna change and we're gonna be feeling a lot better about things coming next week. And remember, we've also got Jupiter and Chiron in the sign of Aries right now, considering this Mercury-Mars mutual reception, Mars ruling Aries, this new moon in Aries, healing, release, overcoming as a part of this as well. And again, I do want to emphasize, I do feel like some financial stuff, okay? It's just being referenced in the symbolism and the aspects. So that's just, you know, for better or for worse, corrections I feel like are going to be made to financial situations coming up here. And even in the energy on Sunday, we have Venus at 4 degrees of Taurus, 1 degree out of conjunction to the North Node, which is the Chiron point. And that Sabian symbol is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. We've also got Mars at 28 Gemini. That Sabian symbol is a man declared bankrupt. And then we've got the Jupiter Chiron influence going on right now as well, and Venus moving towards Uranus in the sign of Taurus and in the conjunction to the North Node. Tomorrow, the day before our new moon, starting these new cycles, coming to the end of old cycles. So financial reset type of energy I feel like going on, huge emphasis on financial, economic, value-based change, endings and beginnings. Now, like I said, also through May, Taurus season, when we're going to have the Sun-Uranus conjunction in the sign of Taurus, ruling that financial-based stuff as well. So that's what I have to say today, you guys. That is my analysis of what we've got coming at us over the course of this weekend. Again, like lots of shifts going on, lots of big energy, lots of creative energy if we can channel it properly, if we can stay out of self-doubt, if we can stay out of self-pity, if we can stay out of self-criticism, okay? If we can not be projecting our issues onto others in a way that is creating disharmony and fights and conflicts in our experience, if we can use this energy for, you know, introspection, healing, growth, getting to the root of our own issues and figuring out what needs to be done to release, to heal, to overcome, to conquer, so that we can move on and really begin creating the life that we want to live from a more conscious place, more in alignment with our like honest, authentic everything about us, our creativity, our potential, you know, who we really are, what we really want, how we really want to express ourselves and relate to others. If we can do all that, things are going to go swimmingly for us. They're going to go lovely with all this Pisces energy. So that's what I have to say. Let's grab a synchronicity card now. Let's see what advice God, Spirit, Universe has for us as we head towards this perhaps conflict-ridden weekend that we are not going to take seriously. What do we need to know? Focus. It says focus. So we are going to focus. Thou will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee. Isaiah 26:3. Focus your thoughts on God and on that part of you that is God. Tune in on God and his serenity over your life. When you can still your mind and think of God and be at peace in your mind, everything around you will fall into a peaceful routine in your home life, your business, and in all aspects of your life. Stay in this state of mind and you will prosper beyond your wildest dreams. And that's so wild because yesterday, the synchronicity cards, I had 2 cards that came out and both of them, one of them like verbatim, the title of the card was "You Will Prosper." And then the other one, I think it was "Rest, Relax, and Believe." And it like literally one of the lines in it was "You will prosper." And then this card that we have coming out today, not only does it say you will prosper, exactly, it says you will prosper beyond your wildest dreams. So I think that's a pretty good indication, you guys. Like I said, you know, we need to stay out of the drama. We need to stay out of the negative self whatever. And we just need to realize we are closing out the final, like we are just in the last couple days of the old energy, and we are about to start a lot of new cycles that are going to have a lot of positive potential for our growth and prosperity moving throughout the rest of this year. So that's what I have to say today, you guys. Message from the stars and our guidance to go along with it. Hope you guys liked it. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think they would enjoy this type of astrology content as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I love your comments. I want to know if you're having experiences that match up with the energy as interpreting it in these videos. So if you've got stuff going on that is in alignment with the energy coming through, definitely drop it in the comment section below. Let me know what's going on with you guys as well. I also have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, Instagram, the social media stuff. In my description box below, I write a blog that goes along with these videos that I post over on Facebook if you like reading about astrology too. And I also have short content that I post over there if you're interested. Come back with me next week, you guys. I'm definitely going to be here on Monday because we've got Venus in a conjunction to the North Node. I'm definitely going to be here on Tuesday because we have our like double new beginnings, equinox, new moon in Aries alignment that we'll have to talk about too. So I'll be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. I will see you next week, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend, and until Monday, bye guys.